Good morning. I hope everyone's doing well and that life is treating you good. We're going to dive into our call this morning. This is being recorded, so I'll post it later on today. And this is our May call. So we're going to start off. We're going to talk mostly about YPhoto. I'll walk you through some reminders, and then we'll talk about our next meeting. So to start off with, I want to remind you how to get to YPhoto, and that is to go to youngevity.com/YPhoto. If you're wanting to use your replicated site is your ID, your Youngevity ID.youngevity.com/YPhoto. Okay, so that's the ID you're using to log into YPhoto. That's what you put there in between those brackets. You remove the brackets too, okay? The first time you log in, or actually each time you log in, if you have any points in Heritage Makers, you'll be asked if you want to transfer your points. You can, but if you're still using Heritage Makers or Snap to Finish, you probably don't want to because it is a transfer of all points. If you purchase points later on, those points will be added to Heritage Makers and Snap to Finish, and you'll be asked if you want to move those over. Okay, so if you move all your points over and then you purchase more points, those points will be sitting in your Heritage Makers account until you choose to move them. So keep that in mind when you decide whether you're or not you're going to move your points. It is an all or nothing. And if you're still working in Heritage Makers or Snap to Finish, you'll want to keep them there. And again, your login is your Youngevity login, so your ID or your username from Youngevity, and then your password. Okay, some highlights. We have some new templates because Father's Day is coming up, so we have some tribute books. We have mugs and puzzles. There's also a fun video on the landing page, and also we've added it to Facebook that you can share. That is just a sweet and touching video that shows some cute kids filling out the questions in the dad tribute books and sharing that with their dad. And then we also have a featured projects page that shows you, that will quickly take you to all the Father's Day projects or quickly take you to all the grad projects, because we also have some grad projects going on right now. We've added some art recently. So we have some pet themed that has cats and dogs. We have dad theme, and we have all occasion word art. The all occasion word art is coming from two different collections. One is Baby's Holiday Sampler Collection, which I know is kind of random for it to be word art that is for all occasions. And then we have Got You Covered. So those are three collections you can look for that have some art that you may want to use in your projects. Some photo tips. We've added basic shapes to create mats for your photos and text boxes. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. I want to remind you that if you ever see a red exclamation point, that means the resolution may not print well. If it looks good on your screen, then you're probably safe to print it. But we do have a known issue that the software company is working on, that for some newer computers, their display may be pixelated. But as long as there's no red exclamation point, things will print just fine. It's just that it may look off on your screen. So keep that in mind. So let me show you about the basic shapes. So we're going to go over here to YPhoto, and I actually I'm going to go to the photo books, and I'm going to go to, actually, I'm going to make this a little easier. I'm going to show you the featured projects page. So this featured project page has the Father's Day things and the grad. So I'm going to click on Get Started here. And that takes me to our products, the projects that are available for Father's Day. And I'm going to work on a dad book, and I want the hardbound. So I'm going to just keep scrolling down until I find the 5x5 hardbound photo book. Click on that. And these are set up so that you don't have to load your photos right from the beginning. You can just go into editing. And for this, you do need to go into advanced editing to be able to see those additional shapes. Okay, so I'm going to come over to this page has this fun little image here, and I want to put a shape behind it. So I'm going to go to Scrapbook. And then I am going to go to this little not arrow, but this little drop down guy here, and I'm coming down to where it says shapes. And here are the shapes we have. And the great thing is you just drag it down, and then I can resize this so that it goes behind my my picture box here. And I'm going to go ahead and, sorry, that's not what I meant to do. I'm going to come up here to arrange, and I'm going to go to back, and I'm going to bring it forward one, and that brings it all the way forward. Now, if that's too big for you, you can resize it just by grabbing on the corners. You can also grab on the top and bottom handles, whatever you would like, okay? I'm gonna go back to this red arrow, and that's gonna take me back to my menu options, and I'm gonna go to background, and I'm going to pick a color that I want to use, and in this case, I think I'm gonna go with this teal. Now I can stick with this color, or I can go back to my red arrow, and I can actually change the opacity. So if I want it to be a little bit lighter version of that, I can use the drag bar to take it down, or I can actually type in the number that I want. If I want 25, that will give me 25. That's how you can put shapes behind anything, behind pictures, behind text. Let's see if I can find one that just has, well, actually this is a shape here. So if I go into background here, I can actually change this to a different shape. And I can go back to my red arrow and work with the opacity to change so it's not quite so dark. Okay, and if you decide you don't like something, you just undo, and I'm back to what I wanted, okay? The other question that we often get is about adding in photos. Okay, so actually PNG photos. So PNGs, if you're doing an autofill from the beginning, if you're using some of the book sizes allow you to pick to autofill or to use the Smart Designer, you can't upload PNGs then. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. If I go back here and I go to featured projects, featured projects, and I go to Dad. I'm going to go down to the 8x8 hardbound, this guy here. When I open the 8x8 hardbound, it gives me the option to go straight to the editor or to use the Smart Design Assistant. If you use the Smart Design Assistant, it does not allow you to use PNG files at that point. So you'd have to go straight to the editor. Okay, and I'm going to add pictures, choose upload, and I have two PNGs here and one that's a JPEG, and I'm going to pick both of those, open them, and those are automatically added. Okay, so you can upload PNGs. It just needs to be once you're into the editor. It cannot happen when you're actually in the autofill mode. So just wanted to share that with you so that you knew that there is an option for uploading PNGs. Just make sure you do it after you get into your project. Okay, things we have in the works. We're always adding art and templates. We're creating a way to see the art included in your collections. It will be outside of the editor, which makes it nice because then you can have that pulled up in another window and have your editor pulled up so you can make sure you're getting the right things. The ability to add to cart or reorder. We're also adding the ability to copy projects so that you can edit it and then reorder it, and the ability to delete and rename. Okay, so those things are in the works. We're trying to get those launched in the next month or two. So as soon as we have them available, we'll let you know. I want to remind you that Heritage Makers Snap to Finish will shut down July 31st. Okay, we've been sending out email reminders. But if you know people that may not be getting those email reminders, please make sure they know that. We are using the emails that are tied to their Heritage Makers accounts. So it should be going to most everyone, but if they've changed their emails, that may be the case that they're not getting it. We have moved email platforms. So if you feel like you should be getting emails, check your spam filter. It should be coming from .digital, not from the monkey one that I can no longer, MailChimp, okay? You can request a photo download from Heritage Makers that will allow you to have all of your photos exported out of Heritage Makers, so it makes it easier to use them in YPhoto. In Snap to Finish, you just go to your photo section, and each folder provides you a download option, so you can download that folder as a PDF, or sorry, as a zip file. You can also order PDFs of book projects that you have ordered. Okay, so if there are books that you want to recreate in YPhoto, you can request a PDF of those. There is a buy PDF button that will appear next to the projects that are eligible. And again, that's for books only. It does not include things like mugs or calendars, things like that. Okay, so go ahead and check that out. Okay, that's it for YPhoto. Moving on to remind you that we still have a few Our Memories for Life and Anthology DIY products that are on sale. These are going, gone. So once they're gone, they are taken off the site and not available for you to purchase anymore. And if you're using Heritage Makers and the Flash is working for you, great, stay there, don't move. If you have problems, you can try Pale Moon. If that's not working, especially if you're on a Mac, we have a new browser called HM Flash Browser. It's built just for the Mac, and it only works for Heritage Makers, and it works brilliantly. So if you're having any issues, please make sure that you reach out to customer service. I do recommend that you email them. It's much easier than calling in, and they will get back to you within 24 to 48 hours, okay? So that email is support@heritagemakers.com. But again, if what you're using is working, don't switch. Only switch if you're unable to get Heritage Makers to work. Okay, that is it. Any questions before we go on? And I'll remind you that our next meeting is going to be June 27th, which is the 4th Tuesday in June. So any questions before we wrap things up here?
Thanks for demoing that, Stacy. That was super helpful.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm glad that helped. We'll try and highlight something each call so that you get some ideas on how to use things. So thank you.
And we're still looking, I might have missed it. We're still looking at end of July.
Yep, July 31st.
July 31st. I feel like we need to do a ceremony or a little, I'm going to do a little party for my little Heritage Makers because it was a good run and we appreciate the transition. Heidi is going nuts with the change. She thought she'd be very resistant and she loves it. She is doing books for clients and it's going so much better and faster than ever. So good things.
Good. I'm so glad to hear that. Okay, everyone, I'm going to let you go then. Have a wonderful day and we'll get this recording up so you can share it. Thanks. Bye.